Hi all. Right, I left things off. Had to quickly dash off with wondering if I was advancing these guys after combat into there. Just wanted to leave that and think about it. To be honest, I'm not really thought deeply into it, but I still feel like it's probably a good idea to do that. So I think that's how we ended the activation of the 12 core, and then put the green cube on them so they can't activate next impulse, but that does let us activate the British core again. But it is going to German impulse next. However, I still had to draw my 3 new cards, so I'll just let you see how we go on with that. So that's what we've got for the minute. I'll draw 3 more. 1, 2. What are we looking for here? We've got the core artillery back again. That's quite good. So I talked about, I think if I was to activate the British again, I talked about maybe holding back the artillery for it. And then I think I said, well, shuffles in again, there's a chance you might draw it again. And there you go, my top decking skills work again. Yeah, no, it's 7 core, isn't it? We've still not got in for 7 core. But I remembered going over that and not being terribly concerned about Liège, unless the first SS suddenly make some kind of move, or the OKW come and get involved, or at the moment I don't think there's an immediate danger. So we've got 18 core, so the actual supplemental card for the whole core. So yeah, okay. Well, that's our hand now. So let's go German impulse. Okay, let's see. It's a bit of a longer impulse than the last one for them. So that's second SS. Remember, that's a misprint on that card. So no primary card. This has got a command value of 3. This has got a 1. Now, fuel issues. No, there's not. There's not fuel issues for either of the divisions on the 23rd. So that is good. Okay, so there is an event. We've got consolidation. So that's wanting to repair. That's annoying. That's a guy we just got down to 1 step, isn't it? He's going to. Well, there's a couple of choices actually. Okay, so I think this event's going to trigger wanting to replace 1 point on 53rd core. So let's have a look. Okay, so there is 2 units. This one, like I say, that we reduced twice, and then this guy, he's got the. Is it the? I think it's the high selector number that comes down to it. Yeah, it's in descending order. So we're getting to assign 1 replacement point. Now they do need to be able to trace reserve supply. So I think he's okay though, isn't he? 1, because it's reserve supply, so that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down there and then away. Yeah, so he's okay. This guy can go 1. Yeah, he's okay as well. So they're the 2 options. This guy's the highest selector number though. So unfortunately we're going to have to get his counter back after. Where is it? This is another box. Well, that's a bit of a pity actually, because I mean, his strength is only going back up to 3, but so that comes away. But it does mean he's 2 steps now instead of just the 1. Whatever. Okay. Right. So that's that event happened. So that card goes away, and now we're gonna. Yeah, what's the special? Special Monty. It's the 24th. Monty tidies the lines. Okay. Ha! Of course, this is not a core card, so we're going to assign a replacement point again. Yeah, so this is going to be another quick German impulse. So now this is, although this can take another replacement step, this guy's got the highest selector number. So that's a good one for them, isn't it? Yeah, he goes from 1 step 3 strength to not only 2 steps 4 strength, but gets his armor status back. So yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, okay, I suppose they're not making any moving about, but then they are going to start getting slightly more defensive, really now. So about trying to hold what they've took. Okay, I think that's it. It's just consolidation and then assign a replacement point, which are both same thing. Okay. Well, I think I should take advantage of realising that I had that 30 core division card to be able to activate these 2 guards armoured division units. Now I've got the choice of them or the 53rd Infantry, which is these guys, but this is 12 strength, and we're right adjacent to this dispersed. Is it just 1 unit? I can't remember what it is. Yeah, it is 1 unit. The wearer unit is in low supply and dispersed, so he's only 1 step. Just checking if we had an assault coordination. We don't have that though. I think this is worth a go. We do have a reinforced battle as well. Okay, let's just see where we're getting, what the likes we're getting without. I mean, pretty sure I would chuck in my core artillery again. It's getting some good use now. So it would just be activating the 2 units. Now, here's a thought though. Because this guy's dispersed, we can move around about here. And get the guy surrounded. Admittedly, mind you, these are low supply, these units, so I'm not sure if he retreats. Does that save him his step loss? I can't remember. Right, that does seem like a good idea to move the 7 strength one into here, because that would be, because remember he's no zone of control because he's dispersed, so it's 1, 2, it's only 3 movement points in there. And am I able to trace supply from there? Well, I am, because this unit's still dispersed, so I can just trace along this road and away. So there's not a problem with that. Yeah, just checking the retreat priorities, and right enough, if he was to have to make a retreat and we had him surrounded, because these units are in low supply, it doesn't enable. He may well retreat into one of the hexes, but it still doesn't negate the step loss that he would have to take because the units are unsupplied. So it's step 4, into an unoccupied hex in an enemy zone of control and not in friendly supply, which that's not what we're talking about, or into a hex in an enemy zone of control occupied by friendly unsupplied units, and then remove a step from the retreating unit. So yeah, that seems like a bit of a no-brainer really, isn't it? I don't think there's much danger. In fact, we want to get round about these guys and get them trapped. So I think I'm going to move this guy 1, 2, and then 3 into here. So we'd be attacking with 12 against its 4, isn't it? Oh, it's 3. 12 against 3. Yeah. Well, it's 41. So 41 odds is pretty good. the 2 units themselves are going to give 3 chip pools, because this is 3-step. I'm going to chuck my artillery, that'll be 4 chip pools now. Dispersed. What was that? You think I'd remember these things, if all units start dispersed, the attacker may disregard 1 attacker hit, the defender may not use combat tactics. Yeah, it doesn't benefit us from any more chip pools. It's just the isolated one, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, 4-1 odds with 4 chip pool. Just like, maybe I would have just liked the 5th chip pool and I mean, I do have this for reinforced battle, and I could bring. I mean, initially look at these guys, but then they're adjacent to Rochefort, so could have brought these guys across. But it's maybe a bit overcut. So maybe a bit of a waste of that card. I think it might well be. I think I'd like to keep that. So okay, so we're gonna do, that's my movement, and I'm gonna play my core artillery. So like I said, that would be 4-1. 4-1. And 1, 2, 3, 4 chip pools. We would have artillery. You know, they're dispersed, they're in low supply. We get to disregard a hit. I mean, they can only retreat, they're only allowed to retreat 1 hex, which is kind of irrelevant, because as soon as they retreat, they take that step loss, don't they? Wherever they have to retreat to, they're taking a step loss. So all I need is D1, he says confidently. I'm not so keen on how many cards I've got left. I've got 4 more cards in my draw pile. You know, the core artillery is going to shuffle in again. Yeah, it's just having a look. He's an armoured unit. He's not combined arms though. He's just got armour. He's not got infantry. He's in a woods hex though. 41. We've got artillery. I think I'm going to just go with that. Take a little bit of a chance. I mean, I could chuck a tank battalion in again, which doesn't improve the odds. And I've already got armour, so it's just for an extra chip pool. Or do I have an air power? No. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a chance with that, and hopefully we can get a D1 out of that result. Okay, so the Germans don't get to draw a card because they're dispersed. Yeah, I think they're in low supply as well, so no combat tactics may be played if they're in low supply. Dispersed says defender may not use combat tactics as well, so that's kind of the same as the low supply. Okay, so he's only 1 step, like I said. I'll just show you there. Like I say, he's only armoured. He doesn't have combined arms, so that's a slight plus as well. So he's only 1 step, so it's a minimum of 1, a maximum of 4. So you never know, if we get lucky and get a D1 off the 1, then we can just stop there. So let's get the first chat and see how we get on. Would be after me talking about the fact he was armoured but he didn't have combined arms. If this was like combined arms, it would have worked. So we've both got armour, so that's not going to apply. Yeah, I've got to take the other 3. Remember, I get to disregard the hit as well. So I was just looking for an artillery or something. So I'll get the other 3 chats. No, it all went wrong. My next chip pool was the woods. Then I drew the large attack, and on the other side of that's air power, which would have done me as well. And then, well, it's 7-1 on the front, which is a D2, which would have worked, but obviously we're not 7-1. But it is a flank attack. So it's going to be nothing. Well, obviously kicking myself now that I didn't put something more into that. I just thought we probably had it, but oh well. I can't do nothing about it. 4 chats. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. Right, so that cancels everything out, so nothing doing. I mean, we've got them in a bad state, but yeah, it would have been nice to finish them off, so that comes away, that comes away. That's going to shuffle back in, which I will do now. And, well, that's going to be my impulse, isn't it? Yeah, because just the 2 guard units, so yeah, some quick impulses going on here. So that's the draw pile shuffled up again. We'll take that away, discard that. Right, might as well show you my 2 new cards. It will be 5. So 2 new cards. They're 7 core. Good. And 21st Army group card. Right, what is it you get with that again? Activate any 1 core and stacked units. Activate any 1 core and stacked units with bonus combat support. Ooh. Okay. Just try to think where that might benefit us, but I don't know. It's maybe probably just going to be used to activate anyone. Well, I suppose I'm thinking the British core, am I? Yeah, there's any 1 core. Doesn't have to be American core, does it? Nah, it's got Bradley and Montgomery. I'm assuming that's why. Okay, well, 2 good cards. So we know our core artillery is still working in there. But we've only got 3 cards left in the draw pile now, so it'd be nice to get another use out of that. Turns out that's a really quite strong card to keep using, isn't it? When you start attacking, obviously early on in the game, you're not doing much in that kind of the attacking front. But okay, well, it's only 18 minutes, so let's see if we can get our German impulse going. Okay, let's see if we can get something that's going to move something about. Alright, well, not one of the big cores, but although these do have extra units now, don't they? So both primary cards, both command level 2. This is the lowest number, 62 card number. So that goes there, that goes there. No event on this. So we're going to activate the, what is it? 67 core. So that's the red guys up the top. Yes, it is. Yeah. Now there's 2 of them. Well, you can just see them on camera. There's 2 of their units in the reserve units box. We have only fixed artillery as a combat tactic and support card. So now just try to find where the rest of the units are. Yeah, they're up near Liège, I think. Okay, yeah, they were kind of hiding underneath. There's a couple of first SS units that were hiding underneath there. So we've got the 3 infantry units here, and obviously it's the 2 mechanised units. One's an armoured, one's a mechanised infantry. Both of them are in the reserve units box. Okay, so no roadblocks adjacent, and their core, their army objective is in here. Yeah, the army objective needs to be reached. Yeah, that's right. So that's not going to move. feels like ages since I've tried to move a German unit, so we just have the 3 infantry and the 2 in reserve, right? Yeah, okay, so we're going to look at moving these 3 infantry units in. Okay, and we've got to remember, I mean, not that it gets used very often, but special move 1B is now removed from the game, because that's only when, that's just to release the OKW units, and we've already done that. So movement method 1B, which is move adjacent to the Meuse River, doesn't get used anymore. So it's not that, you know, we could move one of these units across. Well, actually it happens that they would still like to do that, because they would, movement method 2 is closer to objective. Mind you, would it be closer to the objective? I don't think it would. No, actually, I don't think it would. But he'd be going from zone of control to zone of control, so he can't move across. And this guy's he could move in there, but he's a 3-step unit, and there's already 4 steps in there. So, but like I've just noticed, it wouldn't be closer to their army objective. So, yeah, that wouldn't come into it. Right. Okay, I'll see what's next. Yeah, I think the first one I've been able to find, movement method 7. Infantry move adjacent to allied unit or town to which no non-bracket German infantry unit is adjacent. This guy here can get adjacent to this, so I think he's going to cross a river. Yeah. Okay. None of these. These are both. There's infantry there, so it's not that this guy would be sort of considered complete. He's not the only infantry, but that's the only one I can see. Right, moving on. On to 10 to 13. Can't move via arrows. Can get 1 hex closer to his army objective by crossing the river. That's the best he can do, I think. 1, 2, 3. I mean, coming back, going via the road, so that gets him 1 hex closer to his army objective. Whether this is, yeah, this would be 1 hex closer as well. But again, there's 4 steps. These units being 3 steps can sometimes be a bit restricted to join somebody's, so you can't move into that one. So that's the best that guy can do. This one, again, not via arrows, that would be up there. Now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he could actually go into that hex, couldn't he? Hold on a second. Yeah, I think this guy will move into this hex. Just wondered about the fact he's leaving this bracketed unit. But remember, this isn't... I thought maybe the restriction about a VP hex, but this isn't the VP hex. Although it's part of the city, this is a VP hex. So that restriction, although there's more strength to bother that restriction. So I think 1, 2 breaking zone of control into there gets him 1 hex closer to his army objective again. So, yeah, they're still trying to come in here. I still feel like it's going to be a struggle for them to take this, but I suppose if they start coming across here and getting around this guy and, you know, pushing a bit further, I've got to keep an eye on it. I don't think it's a major concern, but yeah, I've got to keep an eye on it. Right, that's the 3 units that are on the map. Now, set 4, German unit activations. Place eligible active reserve units on German detachment markers. And this does apply to make units starting December 21st. So this is 15.4. So let me have a look. Yeah, again, this one kind of boils down to the last step, which is an allied unit's got to be proximate to the detachment, which is probably been better being step 1 of the. You could look at that and say, right, that's not happening. But But it can be, you know, it could be throughout the map, but it does need to be within the reserve unit's army. So I suppose technically that means it can't really be throughout the map, but it's got to be closer. It's got to be close to 6 Panzer Army unit. Where, you know, this zoom out a bit. So this like detachment here, for instance, is, you know, that's within the 5th Panzer Army. You know, because there is an Allied unit proximate to that. I don't think it can be adjacent. Yeah, it can be adjacent to a German. A non-bracketed German unit as well. So I don't think there's any. You know, there's detachments in these towns, obviously, and these are within these are classed as 6 Panzer Army detachments, but there's no Allied units proximate to them. So no, I don't think that's going to happen then, which means the reserves aren't going to do nothing because, I suppose there might be a die roll here. Oh no, there'll not be. Will there? He's in a forest and he's got an Allied unit adjacent. Because that's the only unit adjacent to an Allied unit. So yeah, I kind of think that's going to be that really. Yeah, the only attack check would be there. It's 4 against 3, but it's 4 against 4 for being in the forest, and then 4 against 5 for having an Allied unit, a supplied Allied unit adjacent. So it's not going to go ahead with it. It's not even going to check a die roll. So yeah, I think that's going to be that. There's no other units to try and bounce the reserves or to build an IP with. Okay, let's as well push on and finish this German impulse as well. It's going to be reasonably quick, I think. Well, there might be an attack down here with this one. Okay, so the support card comes across, it becomes a command card, so it's for 80 Corps, and we're going to activate units in the 80 Corps. Now, they still have their core objective marker, because there's still an Allied unit within 3 of it. I don't think it matters the supply status, I don't think. It's just, it's still going to be there for German units within, Allied units within 3. No, I'm looking at the wrong bit. Core objective marker stays in its hex regardless of proximity of German units until there are no Allied units within 3 hexes of the marker. Okay. Okay, so no roadblocks. Core objective staying where it is. So we're moving units with core objective. Checking ascending order. So we do have this guy down here. Is he on the camera? Just about. Down here as well. He's selector number 3 though. So selector number 2, there's none in the reserve units book. So number 2, well, these 2 units are within 3. This one isn't, but he's already adjacent to this unit, so don't think he's going to move. It's probably going to be an attack on this unit. Actually, that's maybe a couple of units in it. So don't think this guy moves. He's not one to tactically adjust either. Right, the armoured unit, however, yeah, because that's where I was a bit of a strange situation where he had moved, he got deployed down there. In fact, that was that with that detachment deployment thing, I think, from the reserves. He came down here, didn't he? And then the last impulse we had with these core, he had to start moving back. So I think he's going to move back, isn't he? So he wants to move adjacent to one of these 2 stacks. So it's more than likely he can't reach that one. So 1, 2, 3, but he can come into this hex. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that's about the best he can do. Is he breaking any restriction? I don't think so. No, I don't think I see an issue with that. So I think he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4 into here. And that's 3 steps, but another 2 makes it 5. He is going to leave a detachment here. I was right, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then he's adjacent to this, which is within 3. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so next unit would be unit 5. He is already adjacent to units within 3. Same with unit 6, same with unit 7. So that's it. That's all we're going to consider for movement. So now we're going to check for combat. So it's going to be selector number 2 here first. Bring him up the top. So he could consider attack here, but let's not. He's going to consider the attack here because he's going to get support from all these guys. So we've got 5 strength, and we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 to 5, but he's out of supply. There's no support card. There's no reserves. He's out of supply, so it's a -1. So that's 4. So what did I say? It's 12. So it's 12 to 4. So it's going to be 3 to 1. It's just a woods he's in. There's no supply units adjacent. So situational strength is 3 to 1, which is going to require a dice roll. Okay. 3 to 1. Modifiers. Probably not. Don't think there's any elites, is there? No. And there's no support card. Right, so it's just 3 to 1, no modifiers. 1. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that's happening then, isn't it? Cancel if only defender elite or only defender armour. Well, that might have been the case, but we just brought armour into the battle, haven't we? I think that's what happened the last time, because this guy was armoured. Yeah, we had only infantry. But now, we got this guy. So, and there's no elites, so that's not the case, so it's not going to cancel, it's going to go ahead. Yeah, I think that's what saved that guy the last time, because he had armour. Because that was a roll of 1. You know. Okay, so attack's going ahead. Right, so combat tactic first. Is assault coordination. I'm kind of glad that's come out. That's for the 53rd Corps. I don't know, mind you, they probably wouldn't have done an awful lot. Yeah. Okay. Assault coordination. Anyway, what's that going to bring? Well, that's actually going to bring this unit into play as well, isn't it? So it's going to bring an R2 strength because it's half across the river. So fair enough. Right. So let's see what they've got now. So well, we're all attacking. So let's get going here. Right. He's attacking. Loses his IP. He's attacking. Loses his IP. And this guy is attacking. It's just a control marker underneath with assault coordination. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then an R2 coming across the river. So 14 to 5. Yeah, so that's only 2 to 1 when you break it down. 14 to 5. Yeah, just, innit? So 2 to 1 odds. Chip pulls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units Oh, sorry, 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. 2 3-steppers, so that's another 2, that's 8. And then assault coordination's 9. Now, out of supply. Well, we can't put a card. So, out of supply as if mechanized may only be 1 hex. The unit may not attack. Out of supply, if defender, the attackers may draw 1 extra combat chit and may disregard 1 attacker hit. So he's getting to disregard 1 from the out of supply, and he's also getting to disregard 1 from assault coordination, I think. And he gets an extra chip pool. So, yeah. Yeah, this could be. I mean, the odds aren't great, but yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? I mean, I gave up on these guys a long time ago, really, and I know it feels bad saying that, but you've just got to look elsewhere. I mean, it'd be nice if they hang about, because the longer they hang about, the longer these units are going to stay here. So, you know, I mean, if they do manage to get rid of all these, then I do have to consider R1's just at the picture there. Still just at the picture, Grant. But R1, I mean, it's just got that cavalry unit in it. Do we have some reserve? No, it's not for a while before they get some more 3rd Corps. Anyway, right, let's get back to this combat anyway, Grant. You can worry about R1 later. So 10 chip pools, 2-to-1 odds, and well, they're going to disregard a couple of hits as well. Right, we'll get the chip pools and we'll see what happens. Well, I thought that was going to be him gone, or them gone. We start with this blue chit, so we've got everyone shuffled back in. And then I think that was next. Then we got 2 dispersed unsupplied. So, and then a lot of stuff that didn't happen. No attacker combined arms. And I thought we were, but remember he brought an armoured unit in, so we both had combined arms. Defender, recon, combat engineer, broken. This was, but then we got 2 woods chits. It's in a woods hex. So 2 D- -1s to cancel out the 2 D1s. So yeah, I thought they were in trouble, like I say. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, 10 chits. Yeah, and the odds ones, this was 3-to-1 on the front, less than 2-to-1 in the back, and it was 7-to-1 in the front or something. And there was no air power. So yeah, so cancels it out. So it's another null attack, really. Okay, so that goes away. The assault coordination. A big lot of nothing happening at the minute. So that's it. I think all the units of the Corps have made have activated. Have all made a move and attack. Nothing more we can check. That's it. So that's the German impulse over. So it's all going quite quickly just now. Right, okay, well, we're now up to 40 minutes, so thereabouts. So I'll cut now and we can come back with an Allied impulse, which, yeah, it could be quite interesting. We've got that 21st Army group card, or the 7 Corps. Well, with the little bit of movement up there on the 67 Corps, just, you know, a couple of them, well, one of them moving across the river, one of them moving down to get ready to come across the river again as well. So, I don't know. I mean, I'd feel more comfortable with a unit in Liège, I have to say. So we have the 7 Corps card, primary card, to activate the Corps and maybe consider. I mean, even if it's that bracketed unit up the top, just shoving him into the actual city. Just for a wee bit more comfort, I think. Right, okay, I'll leave things for now, guys, and hopefully get back. Like I say, I've got some time off just now as well, but I've still not been able to sit down too much. Other things been happening. Got another couple of new games. Got another new game yesterday, and got another one coming tomorrow. I might like to try and set up as well, but I still want to keep this going as well. So see if we can get this concluded. I was hearing some rumours recently that Kharkov is maybe not going to come until next year now. Which, I was worried about that happening, but I figured it was probably something that could happen. So looks kind of like we're going to have to wait until the new year, and then, well, who knows how far into the year, but anyway, we just need to get it when it comes. Okay, I'll leave things for now, guys. We'll be back with an Allied Impulse sometime soon. Okay, cheers for now. Hi all. Just a little thing that I've caught the last German Impulse, the first activation that they made with the 67 core. I'm sure some of you seen it. To be honest, I kept thinking about the 2 units that were in reserves, thinking, is there not another way they might be able to come out and whatever? And the only attack determination check was this unit in here. And I just automatically said, well, 4 against 3, 4 against 4 is in the forest, 4 against 5 is adjacent to an allied supplied unit. And that was it, so no dice roll involved because it's less than 1 to 1 odds. But the 2 reserve units can be considered in this, and I'm sure most of you spotted that. Now, they do need to be in reserve supply, so I think the problem, this being a 3-step unit again, is going to cause issues, because any of these 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes are not going to be in German reserve supply. I don't believe. Yeah, because they're all having to try and get across the river here. Even this hex here, you know, although they can trace out a zone of control, they can't get across the river then. So this is the only hex that would be in German reserve supply. So, however, it can bring one of the 2 units. They're both 2-step units, so like I say, both of them can't come and be considered. So one's a 5 strength, one's a 4. So, well actually, one's unit selector number 1 and one's unit selector number 2, which is, I think, how it works. Yeah, if there are more than could be placed, you go in ascending order. So that would actually be 9 strength against 3, plus 1 for the forest, 4, plus 1 for adjacent supplied allied unit, 5. So it is 9 against 5. So it is 1.5 to 1, you know. So I should be considering a dice roll. Nothing else changed here. I've not moved on to my next Allied Impulse, so we've just caught it. That's why it's, although you're watching back on something you've just recorded, I like to try and do that just so that I will catch these, most of them anyway. Not all of them. You pulled me up a few times before, but well, we all know how tricky a game this is to get everything right. So 1.5 to 1, again, there's not going to be right, hang on. Why did I not consider? Oh, cause I wasn't rolling a dice. No, yeah, of course. There would have been a support card, so I suppose that is something that's moved away now. It's fixed artillery though, so that wouldn't have counted. I was too far away for that. Because even now on the 23rd, well, it goes out to 6 hexes, but there's no way they're getting from a west wall 6 hexes to there. So that wouldn't have applied as a modifier. It's not elite against elite. Find a page. And it wasn't an army group card, and the support card didn't show an applicable combat tactic. So it's basically 1.5 to 1 with no modifiers. So I won again. Oh, I'm good at rolling their ones. So actually, this might happen then. Eh? So one is cancel if only defender elite or only defender armor. Well, that's neither. Yeah. So this is going to go ahead. Okay, that's a bit of a bummer. I thought I was just going to be able to record that a little bit and then shut up and then put this video together. But okay. Right. This might have screwed something up then. Because now I'm going to have to draw a card, and there was another combat down below, wasn't there? I don't like when that happens. Yeah, I don't like when that happens, but there's nothing I can really do about it, because when we activated the 80 core, this is the card we drew for their combat. Technically, this would have been the card that we drew for this combat that's about to happen, because, it should have happened first. I can't go back and change all that, can I? You know, I could just draw the next card. I never feel good about that, because that would have been the card that we drew. Hold on, let me think here. Yeah, I'm just going to have to draw a fresh card, because I drew all the combat chits for that combat down there. I mean, it would have been assault coordination here, which I wouldn't really have done anything for them. Okay, stopped them taking a hit, I suppose. And the assault coordination down at the other combat, I suppose, looked like it was helping, but didn't do anything. But if I take all that back, I'm going to have to put all the chits back, and I still don't feel good about this, so yeah, I can't really go back and change that. It means putting the chits back, and the first chit I had drawn, I was just looking back there, was a blue chit which shuffled all the other chits in, and it'd be too messy to try and deal with that, I think. If I'd only rolled higher than a 1 there, I think we would have been okay. Well, actually, no, a 2 would have done it. Yeah. If we had rolled higher than a 2, I don't think this would have happened. So there you go, out of the D10, I managed to get a 1. Right, I'm just going to have to accept that one, guys. It doesn't sit nice with me, these things. I feel like things are done a little bit out of order, but it's probably not huge. So, okay, so this guy's attacking. The reserve isn't involved just yet. So where are we? Yeah, step 2, we add the reserve. So we draw a combat tactic first. So here we go. We're just going to have to draw a fresh new one. That's making me feel worse now. Oh dear. Martin's not going to be happy with this. I'm not happy with this either. However, I mean, card order, that would have been, we would have had assault coordination up there, and then the 5th Panzer Army for the combat down there. So it would have been drawn as a combat tactic, Martin. Is all I can say. There's nothing I can do to get out of this, is there? Yeah, I don't think there's nothing I can do about this, guys. Sorry about this. If I'd been drawn this card and it would have been used as the next German Impulse card for a draw, I definitely would have changed things here, because you know, but what would have happened, like I'm sure you're aware, was this combat would have drawn this for a combat tactic, and then this card, when activated then in the second impulse of their the second activation of their impulse, we would then had a combat, and the 5th Panzer Army card would have been drawn as a combat tactic there. So, yeah, it's not ideal, but it still would have been drawn as a combat tactic. So, like I say, if I'm taking that card as a combat tactic when it may have been drawn as not that, then I would have to change things and go back. So I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, I'm just going to have to leave it. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it as it is. To be honest, this bit's going to get added and I'm going to upload the video. So if any of you feel that I could have done this better, rewound it a bit better, like I say, they're both getting used for combat tactics. That's all I can say is, yeah, all I can say is that. Right, okay, I'm just going to move on with what I've got. If there's any comments getting up in arms about it all, then I might rewind. I mean, it would have just meant that this combat with the 80 Corps would have been artillery and assault coordination. And this would have just been assault coordination. So, and pretty sure there was no artillery drawn from down there. No artillery chips were drawn. So that wouldn't have helped them at all. Would have given them an extra chip pool because they had 2. And up here, they would have just had assault coordination, but now they're benefiting from artillery as well. So, yeah, am I getting away with it? Right, well, if you've got any comments and think that I've really messed up and I could have done it any better, then let me know. Okay, so I'm just going to have to move on with what I've got. So there wasn't any support card. Well, like I say, it should still be sitting there as fixed artillery. And if for some reason it was getting used, then I'd have to rewind everything, but that's not the case. So now we've got to add the reserves. Well, it's straightforward. We said it's going to be selector number 1, the lowest selector number, which is the 5 strength. And he's only 2 steps, so he's now, and it's the only hex he can come into is here. Because he needs to be able to trace reserve supply, which you can do by crossing the river there, and then he's on a supply head. So now we do have the chance of a combat tactic. Well, what have we got here now? We've got 9 strength against 3, remember? That's what this boiled down to 3 to 1. And chip pool wise, well, they've got 2 units. One is a 3-step unit. The good thing is that unit's green, so 1, 2, 3, and artillery and assault coordination. So it's going to be 5 chip pools, 3 to 1 odds. Now again, nothing's changed with the cards in my hand. We've not drawn in new cards yet. So this is the hand the cards that we'd have had. So do we want to play a combat tactic? Well, let me think about that. Yeah, I mean, I've got air power with the 18 core card, but I might like to make an activation with them, although most of them are sitting in defensive positions. Although with the movement that we've had, they could start moving about a little bit, so I think I'd quite like to keep that. I've got both 8 core core cards, and they've both got tank battalion on them, so I'm thinking tank battalion, because I do only have infantry in this battle. It would increase my strength by 1 as well. Where are we? We're up here. So it would be 9 against 4, so it would drop the odds to 2 to 1 and give me armour in the battle. And the fact that I've still got an 8 core core card, and I really can't see myself making any moves with 8 core. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, there was a thought of repairing points, because I've got that 9th armoured unit away down south of Bastogne that could do a repairing, but I could still use that. I mean, the card that I'm keeping in my hand assigns 3 replacement points, whereas that one only assigns 2, but that's kind of irrelevant because I've only got 1 point to repair. But yeah, I think I'll do this. So that drops the odds down to 2 to 1. We have armour in the battle, which is pretty important. It comes up quite a lot, you know. Okay, so let's do it then. So 2-1 odds. We're in a forest as well. We've got a defender adjacent. It's pretty good, you know. So wondering, do I need to play that card? Could I take my chances? No, you know what? It's still quite an important bit, because if they were to advance into that hex, yeah, that's getting a little bit naughty, I think. So let's do that. Let's play that tank battalion. So 5 chip pools, 2-1 odds. Right, I'll get the chits. Oh, that was interesting. That was like, didn't like the way it was going. Artillery first, but then I got a forest chat. I thought, okay, and then artillery again. I thought, oh no. That applies because we knocked it down from 3-1 to 2-1. However, they've got assault coordination, so they're going to ignore one hit. But still wanted to get a D-1, ended up with a 1 hex attack on the last chip pool, so perfect. So everything gets cancelled out there. We end up with an A1, but they get to ignore that for the assault coordination. So yeah, nothing happened. Which I'm kind of glad about. I wouldn't like to have seen that ending up in a hit for that guy, to be honest. Because I'm not sure I would have wanted to retreat him. Well, maybe I would. Maybe retreat him across the river wouldn't have been too bad. However, I don't need to do that. So so that would have came away. That got played. Didn't really help actually in the end, but okay, and then that would have been their combat tactic away as well. And yeah, that would have been it. All the infantry had moved as well, so they would just end up staying in that hex, and that would have been that. So then we would have moved on, activated the 80 core and had the combat down there. So, I mean, all I can say is the 2 combat tactics would have been in different areas. Going by the chip pools that I drew, to be honest, it was 2 artilleries chip pools up here, so it probably gave them a better shot at things. And there was no artillery drawn down at the bottom, so it's not that I took any away from there. So maybe kind of lucky there. Right, okay. I don't like all that happening, guys, but I think that was the only way out of doing it, so hopefully it's alright with you guys. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now and then tag this on that bit of video and upload it. And if any of you feel like I should have done something different there to fix that, then let me know, because I'll probably not get any more recording done today. Well, I might tonight actually. Okay, cheers for now, guys.